Hello, welcome to another day in Sodom. In this series of videos, what I want to do is examine what it really means to be a conservative. What is conservatism? As I look out on the world of political debate and discussion, there's two things going on. First of all, basic political terminology: left-wing, right-wing, liberal, conservative. These are terms that are just unexamined. People just don't seem to sort of critically think about what these words mean, and they are largely undefined. People just sort of use these words all the time. And secondly, that conservatives don't seem to understand the nature of their own position, their own belief system, and they tend to use this terminology in the way that's laid down for them by other people. For example, like if the Dallas Cowboys play Manchester United at Wembley Stadium, who will win? And or if the, being in Australia, if the West Coast Eagles play the Australian cricket team, the MCG, who will win? And I know that there are some really intellectually, scintillatingly brilliant people watching this video who will say, well, it depends on the game they play. Yeah, that's right. And you know what? Conservatives do, 99% of conservatives do exactly that. They do exactly the same thing. They play according to somebody's rules that somebody else has laid down in the way they use terminology and in the way they frame their arguments, and in fact in the whole way in which they understand their belief system. In these videos I will use terminology that, well, for example, I will use the expression so-called a lot. And there are certain words I won't use at all. For example, racism. I won't be doing any videos on racism. I will happily discuss with anyone, anywhere, anytime, racial hatred, something that deconstructs this non-word and talks about nitty-gritty of what we're actually talking about. I will use that expression. I have a long list of words here that I'm going to analyze and go through, and just to illustrate how how brainwashed we are actually by the prevailing leftist culture, and how these words are, well, there's two things. Firstly, that the words are, as I said before, that the words are undefined in any kind of really meaningful way, except by the left that dominates our culture. And secondly, the way in which these words are used by conservatives, like the Dallas Cowboys, quite happy to play, Manchester United, quite happy to play soccer. I don't know why they do that, but 99% of conservatives do that. They don't understand the foundations of their own beliefs, and they're confused. And in these videos, what I'm doing, by reference to looking at day-to-day events, is fleshing out a definition of conservatism that's completely different to anything else you've heard. it gets down to the bedrock. For example, there's no such thing as conservatism, thank you, because an ism is a belief system, and I'll let the cat out of the bag, I'll say it right now. This is something that will become clearer, with time, video after video. But conservatism is not a belief system. That's right there from the get-go. And conservatives themselves, I haven't done any great study of political philosophy. No, I haven't done a deep study of political philosophy or political science, or read the works of Edmund Burke or anything like that. But conservatism is taken to be a set of beliefs, but in fact, in actual fact, it's really what I would call a recognition of values. And as the videos progress, you will see that the idea I'm developing is that political political theory is really the plaything of the left. And yes, you'll say, oh, but you haven't defined the left. Well, I'll do that, but let's just say that the left is a sort of foundational word. Well, you see, political theory is on the side of the political left. And conservatives, like the Dallas Cowboys, continually play the game on their home ground, playing by their rules, using their terminology, and I don't know why they do that, but they do that. 99% of conservatives do that, and they should not do that. Now, I have a long list of words, but today I'm just going to go through these words to give you the flavor of what it is I'm talking about, that gets fleshed out as we look at the things going on in the world and the way we talk and think about things, and how conservatives don't understand the nature of their own beliefs. They're too tied up with the whole notion that leftists dictate for them about how they should think. In fact, even the word right wing, people talk eruditely about right wing, right wingers. Right wingers are just people and they're just people that leftists hate. So the right wing is the opposite to the left. So even conservative, you won't find me use the term right wing. I'm not going to describe myself in that way, because it's a bit like a black person being called a nigger. What am I? Well, this person over here says I'm a nigger, so that's why I'm not going to be a right winger because of some idiot leftist, laying down the rules about the terminology, right? So I do not describe myself as right wing or anybody else as right wing. On the conservative side of politics, I will consistently use the word conservative, because that has to do with values, not political theory, and that's the idea I'm developing in these videos. It's the whole concept, if you like. I'll explain later on how everything we think about the world is, we're thinking about it, but it's not necessarily political theory. It's not necessarily theoretical. We use our brains to recognise truth and realities and concrete things like that. So I don't use the word right wing, because it was dreamt up by left wings to define people they don't like. So why am I going to do that? Why am I going to play by their rules? Why does any conservative do that? Man, 99% of conservatives do that, and I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking when they do that.